Jeff Bezos is literally the richest man in the world because he implemented something we learned when we were 5 years old. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and like I just said, Jeff Bezos is now the richest person in the world because he did something that we all learned when we were 5 years old. Now, this is not my traditional video. This has nothing to do with digital marketing. This actually has everything to do with customer service and the journey of being a business owner. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out. It doesn't matter if you're thinking about starting a business or you've already taken the leap of faith and you are in the early stages of doing it. It's most people just think like, hey, I'm going to go start a business. I'm going to be successful. And I want to share with you guys some interesting Jeff Bezos kind of numbers that you guys can actually see. So Jeff Bezos was born, his father used to be in the circus. He was actually born, and his mom was a teenager when he was born. So he was born younger, or better yet, his mother was younger. But some of the interesting things that I really found online was just a handful that I think are really applicable to actually starting a business. So right off the bat, in 1994, Jeff Bezos founded the company, which sounds cool, and it is cool, right? Everybody loves starting a company. But the interesting thing was he actually used the internet before the internet was like popular, and he was already doing $20,000 a week in sales. That's crazy. That's almost $100,000 a month. $80,000, almost $100,000 a month. That's insane. He was already on track to do almost $1 million, right? $1 million might be less than $1 million, but right around $1 million in business. That is an absurd amount of money if you really think about it, right? But that's not important. What's important is the fact that he started in 1994. He raised $8 million in 1995. And I watched a couple old interviews that a lot of people think like, hey, you know what? He's the richest guy in the world. And what he was talking about then is so applicable to today. And like I said, he implements something that we learned when we were 5 years old. And what that is actually really kind of freakishly simple, right? Treat others the way you want to be treated is literally it. Right now, I understand that he doesn't treat his employees the best, and that's totally fine. But what he does think about is his customers. And he was always focused on his customers ever since he launched his company. I've watched interviews back from the 90s, back in the early 2000s, and even in the mid-2000s. And honestly, he's been saying and preaching the exact same thing every single time. It's actually kind of insane that he literally doesn't change what he says. And it's all about the customer experience. It's about making that customer experience perfect and as easy as possible, right? They had a 99.9% package delivery rate, and he was like, no, it's not 100, we got to get it to 100, right? Like, he was so focused on every single customer, and he was so worried about what they said, right? In person, right? You go to a restaurant, you might tell a couple people. Typically, on average, if you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you tell about 11 people. If you have a really good experience, you actually tell about 3 people. The problem is, with his business being on the internet, that person could say one thing and reach thousands of people. And this is where it starts to get a little wild, because he literally implemented what we learned, right? Treat other people the way you want to be treated. How would you like your package delivered? Would you like it tomorrow or the next day, or heck, maybe in 2 hours, right? And he was so focused on making it like, how would you actually want to be treated, right? If somebody painted a picture in your world, hey, if you could be treated any way you want, how would you like to be treated? That is exactly how you would want to be treated. Yeah, I'll take 2-day shipping. That'd be great. I don't want to wait a week for what I need. This is what made him successful. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, he deserve, and by all means, he does deserve all the success he's had, and he's kind of gone down a pretty ridiculous route here, right? Between all the acquisitions they've made and how fast they've grown. And actually, he was named Time Man of the Year in 1999 for popularizing online shopping, right? That is the coolest part. But what is important to remember is he just treated others the way he wanted to be treated and really thought about his end consumer and turned everybody into raving fans. So it doesn't necessarily matter what industry you're in. And like I said, this is not a normal video. This is going to be a very short video. But a lot of people never think about their customer at all. They don't think about them. They don't care about them. They don't talk about them. Nothing. Zip, zilch, nothing. What a lot of people need to do is put the shoes on of that customer, right? Doesn't matter what it is or of your customer, and think about what they would want. And if you don't have customers, let's just say you're launching a blog and you just have readers, think about what they would want to see in that blog and where those links should go, right? Disregard SEO, disregard all the technical stuff, right? Just think about what would help that user. And by you helping these people, I can guarantee you are going to be so much more successful, right? That is the difference between Amazon and everybody else's business. That's it. They just focus so heavily on that customer experience, and this is their differentiator. They were able to build a multi-billion-dollar business, and I want you to build a multi-billion-dollar business, and I hope I do. I've helped like 20,000 people already, and it keeps growing, and it makes me unbelievably happy, but I just want you to remember, it's the little things, right? It's not you coming out with the great latest and greatest, which is part of it, but how would your customer like to be? How would they like to interact? How would they like to feel, right? That is what is going to make you successful, nothing else. So I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It is Harrison Meyer, the Millennial Entrepreneur. If you guys enjoyed this little video, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. I don't normally do videos like this. It's more like technical and building a business, but I think a lot of people kind of forget their roots. Think about your customers. They're really important. They're the ones that pay your bills. So other than that, I'll see you guys later.